8:21, welcome back to News Channel 50 Mornings. This Thursday.
You bet. Well, a new baby means changes in the household, not only for you and your spouse, but for others as well.
Yeah, like your dog. That's right. Fido has to be prepared for a new edition as well. And joining us now is Mike Wombacher, who's authored There's a Baby in the House.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Basically, the book is about what you just said. It's about preparing your dog for the arrival of a baby in the house. And something a lot of people don't actually think about. There's so many things to think about when you do have a child coming that often Fido doesn't get thought about at all. But that's what the book is about, is how to teach your dog to be prepared for the arrival of a baby. Because for a lot of dogs, it's really a big deal, and a lot of dogs end up getting rehomed after about 3 months of the new baby being there, just because it was too much for mom.
Yeah. Now, did you write this book from experience, or did you decide, or did you see it happen and decide maybe something should be?
Well, I'm not a parent myself, but I had to counsel so many expecting parents in relation to their dogs that and I realized there were really no resources out in the marketplace for this kind of thing, that I decided to write the book, because I saw a lot of unfortunate incidents where moms ended up getting rid of the dog when it really was 100% preventable.
Oh, wow.
Well, Michael, what's going on? Do you have some examples? I mean, what do we see different when we bring the baby home? What's the dog doing?
Well, I mean, there's a whole variety of things, but the single thing, I mean, if you just netted it out, it's jealousy a lot of the times. So for a lot of people, I mean, the dog was really the surrogate child in the beginning. It's they're in their late 20s, early 30s. They got their golden retriever, whatever it is, and now now they're pregnant. The dog's been around 2 or 3 years, and feels like the only child. And then suddenly all our attention is taken away from the dog and goes, by necessity to the child. And boy, the dog knows it. So, sometimes people ask me, well, what's the single biggest piece of advice that you would give people if they're in that situation? It's to take a look at the life of your dog and any changes that you're going to have to make in the life of your dog because of the child, and make them way before that baby arrives. So the dog has no way to associate those changes with the arrival of the baby. That's the single, I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's like the main key thing. Just think about this stuff way in advance.
Now, do some dogs react more than other dogs to the arrival of baby? I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, some dogs seem to be so in tune, and other dogs...
Yeah, it runs the gamut. I mean, some dogs, it's like not even a hiccup, and it just goes really smooth, and everybody's, what's the big deal? I don't know what they were talking about. It was just no problem. Other people, it's just really an ordeal. And there's a lot more of the latter than we think. I mean, it's really a big problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, and if you end up having to give your dog away, as you said, that's
awful.
That's a real sacrifice.
Well, there's two sides to that. I mean, well, first of all, I mean, most dogs you can make fine to have a baby in the house. There's a lot of things that we can do proactively to make sure that it's going to be a seamless transition, but we also need to know there are some dogs that are never going to be completely okay with a baby in the house. And actually, we'd want to know that as far in advance as possible. And in the book, there's a section that's designed to help you kind of assess your dog. And the thing is, if you feel like you're going to have to rehome the dog because of something, then you'd want to know that way, way, way in advance, so you can find a great home and not just like suddenly be painted into a corner. Oh my God, he bit the kid.
Yes.
I got to get rid of the dog.
Yeah, Michael, I have a cat, and there were special things that I had to do concerning the kitty litter and that kind of a thing. With a dog, I think my main concern would be, is my dog going to bite the child?
80% of dog bites happen to kids under 5. It's a little-known statistic, but boy, it's sobering, So yeah, it's something to take very seriously. And even if we think our dog is the nicest, sweetest, friendliest dog, you want to at least take a look and see if you think there are going to be potential problems. And also a lot of things that the dog might be doing now that's just simply annoying, but we put up with it because, we put up with a lot of things from our dogs that, I don't know whether we should, but basically you enter a child into that picture of what's now just annoying could actually become dangerous, I mean, just simple things like just dragging us out the door when the door opens. If you've got a little one there and you've got a little stroller or a carriage or a baby Bjorn or something, this becomes a problem. Or suddenly, the place becomes a mess now because you've got food everywhere, as it tends to become with kids. So if your dog's used to just raiding food off counters, again, you might have put up with that as a mere annoyance before, but with a baby around, it becomes a much bigger problem.
Yeah. I remember reading a story about how the family bought a dog to protect the baby. Why they did this, I'm not sure, but then the dog ended up mauling the baby.
Yeah, it's smart thinking.
In hindsight, they shouldn't have probably...
Well, you're inserting aggression, the desire for aggression in with a child, and you're expecting the dog to be like James Bond or something to figure out who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. And yeah, it's really, I mean, people do some crazy things.
Yeah.
And
got a billboard we want to put up in case you'd like to find out a little bit more. There's a baby in the house preparing your dog for the arrival of a new child. And website is probably the most important there at www.doggonegood.org. Mike, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
And good luck with the book. Thank you.
Thank you.